Hello everyone, it's Kay from TechFigure, and today we're checking out the brand new 49-inch Porsche design OLED gaming monitor from AOC, the AGON PD49. It's a catchy name and definitely rolls off the tongue. Now this monitor boasts some impressive specs: 240Hz refresh rate, HDMI 2.1, DisplayPort 1.4 support, USB-C, a smart KVM switch, and it is one of the brightest screens I've ever used, even with its anti-glare coating. And of course you have to agree, it looks absolutely fantastic. So in this video I'll be unboxing and setting up and then diving into the features, pros, cons and performance for both gaming and productivity. But based on my first impressions, I can tell you the screen is incredible. Now I will try to cover everything, but if you do have any questions, drop them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Okay, so this is the box it comes in, and you can see it's got the Porsche design branding on it, including all of the specs. Okay, let's get this opened up and see all the goodies inside. And the first thing we see is this nice little Porsche design box with all the accessories in it. So inside the box you get 4 power cords, a European style and a US style, and my favourite, a UK style plug. And I think this is an Asian style plug. We also get a colour calibration factory report, which means you're going to be getting those accurate colours right out the box. We also get a quick start guide for setting up the stand, and again one for the actual monitor. Digging deeper into the box we get some cables. We get a USB 3 type cable, a USB-C to CA cable, DisplayPort cable, and finally an ultra high speed HDMI cable. We also get this highly desirable Porsche design USB stick. We get some screws to attach the monitor to the stand, and nice of them to include a screwdriver to do the job. Next up is the stand, which comes pre-built in one piece, so there's no faffing around putting 2 pieces together. There's some contact points here for some LED lighting at the base. This stand is a quality piece of engineering. It's constructed of solid aluminium and it's reassuringly heavy. Okay, let's take a closer look at this monitor. As you can see, it's absolutely massive, and it is recommended that you attach the stand to the monitor in the box, which makes the whole process a lot easier. Just slot it into the back and screw in with the screws and screwdriver provided. Now I think you'll agree with me that this is one of the coolest looking gaming monitors out there. It's got the heatsink built into the back with those mean looking grills, Porsche design and AOC branding. Design wise it mirrors the details of a Porsche sports car. With its sandblasted aluminium cast stand, it reminds me of the steering wheel and wheel spokes on Porsches. Now the back is pretty chunky with all the electronics mounted in here, but I absolutely love how thin the actual screen is. It's under 5mm. You can also see how curved it is with its 1800R curve, and the thin bezels give it that floating screen look. There's a wide range of motion on the stand for such a large monitor. You can tilt it 13 degrees backwards and 3 degrees forward. And of course there's plenty of side to side motion. Also you get up to 130mm in the vertical motion. So the screen is a 49-inch ultra-wide OLED panel with a 5120 by 1440 resolution. And with that 1800R curve you really get that immersive feeling when gaming with games that support that ultra-wide format. Now the screen achieves a peak brightness of 1000 nits and it's certified with VESA Display HDR True Black 400, covering 99% of the DCI P3 color range. So of course, being an OLED panel, you're going to get those inky blacks and contrast levels. It definitely showcases radiant visuals, deeply saturated with over 1.07 billion colors thanks to its 10-bit color depth, covering 99% of the DCI P3 color range. Now gaming wise, I've played a number of games on this monitor over the past few weeks, including Doom, Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, and they all benefit from the monitor's 0.03 milliseconds response time. And as they all support that ultra-wide format, they look absolutely great on this screen. And as this monitor is e-game ready, supporting 240Hz at 1440p, any games offering that will run buttery smooth. The colours are vibrant and the brightness is impressive. The curved design significantly enhances the immersive gaming experience. Now the monitor features an 1800R curve, which for most will be ideal. And once you get used to it, you're going to wonder how you managed without it. Flying into the island in Apex Legends shows you how much detail you can get. And driving around in Cyberpunk 2077 gives you that immersive experience which you're not going to get on anything else, let alone a flat screen monitor. And thanks to the inclusion of adaptive sync for variable refresh rate support, every game sequence flows with tear-free immersive goodness. Now this primarily being a gaming monitor, AOC have added some gaming dedicated features with a game settings menu. From here you can turn the games mode on, and the first mode is FPS, next is RTS, Racing, Gamer 1, 2 and 3, which are user definable. We get shadow control to lighten up those darker games, and we get 3 levels of shadow boost, game color control. We also get sniper scope, which is really cool if you're playing an FPS game. It essentially magnifies the center part of the screen so you can snipe those enemies, and there's a few levels of magnification. We've also got adaptive sync to reduce screen tear, and a frame rate counter which we can turn on to show the frame rate on the screen. You've also got quick access to some of these gaming settings via a shortcut menu you can access through the joystick on the bottom of the monitor. You can change the game mode on the screen by just cycling through all the modes available. You can turn on the gaming crosshairs, which has a dynamic mode, which means it changes colour whatever the background is, so you're able to see it clearly whatever the conditions are. The quick access menu also lets you change the lighting effects of the monitor. You can change the lighting mode and the lighting pattern. Connections wise, on the back of this monitor, you've got every single port you're ever going to need, including 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, a display port 1.4, the included USB hub includes 4 USB 3.2 ports and an RJ45 input, and the icing on the cake is the USB-C port with a generous 90 watts power delivery, which means you can power your laptop at the same time, giving you that single cable look which is always so much neater. And the built-in KVM switch allows users to connect 2 computers simultaneously, and you also get an audio output. Now accessing the menus on the monitor is done by this joystick on the bottom here, which also acts as a power on button. And finally we've got our power input here. And the cool thing is we don't get a heavy power brick as it's all built into the back. Talking of the back, in the VESA mount we've got some electrical contacts. These are used to light up the monitor stand on the base. Now you can use the monitor with your gaming console, and this is how it looks. By default the image is stretched out, and to be honest it looks a bit pants, but you can go into the image settings and change the aspect ratio. And here I've set it to a 27-inch monitor with an aspect ratio of 16:9, so you get those black bars on the side, and it looks pretty decent. Or alternatively, you can use the picture-by-picture mode, which will allow you to display your gaming console on one side and your PC on the other side. Now, while the gaming capabilities are impressive, it's equally as important to consider productivity on this device, especially if you plan to use it on a PC or laptop for work. And the standout feature here is the 90 watt USB-C port, which allows you to plug in and charge your Mac or laptop simultaneously. Now, working on an ultrawide screen is a game changer. After using an ultrawide monitor for a few years, I find it hard to go back to a standard screen. The vast real estate makes tasks like editing videos and photos much easier. Plus the excellent color accuracy and perfect contrast thanks to the OLED display further enhances the experience. And if you often use 2 PCs or laptops at the same time, the built-in smart KVM switch is incredibly useful. It allows you to control and switch between multiple devices using one keyboard and mouse. You can even drag files between 2 devices when using the picture-by-picture mode. Now, one crucial aspect of using an OLED screen for productivity is how it handles brightness, especially with a full white page or when switching between windows. Fortunately, the monitor features a setting called Uniform Brightness, which maintains consistent brightness levels. Although it does slightly dim the screen, it prevents the harsh auto-dimming effect often encountered with OLED displays during work. And to help with other viewing experiences, the monitor comes with a built-in blue light mode, with a multimedia setting, internet, office, and reading mode. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned about this monitor is its speakers. It comes with integrated stereo speakers delivering 2 × 8 watts, ensuring the audio experience is as immersive as the visuals. Okay, let's take a quick look at the settings menu on the monitor, and they can be accessed with this little joystick on the bottom of the screen here. And the first one is OSD setup. So here we can control how the on-screen menu looks, the position, transparency, timeout, break reminder, and also how we want the USB ports to act. Next up is extras, and from here we can manually select the input, set the strength of the pixel orbiting to protect the screen, and turn on pixel refresh. But as you can see below, there's tons more settings you can dabble in. Next one is lighting FX, and this controls the lighting on the back of the monitor and in the actual stand. You can set the light intensity to low, medium and strong, and there's tons of lighting effects which you can just scroll through and choose. You can also change the colour of the pattern from red, green and blue, or have it user defined. Next menu is audio, and this controls the stereo speakers on the monitor. There's different modes of stereo sound. There's game, rock, classical, live, theatre. You can also turn on the True Volume HD from here. Next menu down is the colour setup, and as I showed you before, we can turn on the low blue mode, change the colour temperature of the monitor from normal, cool, user and warm. Next menu item is the image setup, and here we can select our HDR mode, and as you can see there's quite a few available. We can turn on our picture-in-picture mode, which will put two displays up on the screen, one on top of the other, or even the picture-by-picture mode, which gives you two displays side by side. Next menu down is luminance, and these are your contrast, brightness, and the uniform brightness I talked about earlier. You got an eco mode and a gamma mode, each with their individual settings. The gamma mode coming with 3 levels. And lastly, we've got the game settings menu, which I showed you earlier. So to summarize guys, I think this 49-inch OLED monitor from AOC and Porsche design looks stunning, and it's an excellent choice if you're after an ultra-wide screen for PC gaming. It offers inky blacks, a 240Hz refresh rate, and the convenience of a KVM switch, making it a solid buy. And personally, I think the 1800R curvature is perfect for this size and works very well. Overall, I'm really impressed with this monitor. AOC and Porsche design have done a fantastic job creating a screen that meets most of our needs in 2024. So what are your thoughts on it? Are there any features you'd like to see improved? Drop your thoughts in the comments. So friends, if you enjoyed this review, check out my other videos, especially my review of the Philips OLED 34-inch ultra-wide, which is another great monitor if you're a gamer.